There we go. Hello, everybody. It's Lord Magicus. And, yeah, we're gonna play some Merfolk in Modern today, except we're going back to sort of a classic Simic Merfolk. It's been a while since we've played anything like this. The Merfolk community's been talking about it the last, few days, and I figure it's worth a shot. Just to show if you were going to do something like this, how exactly would you build Simic in a way that's meaningfully different than mono blue. So we know mono blue has been wildly successful. Yeah, I put up on the Discord. Actually, hold on, maybe I can find it quick. Give me 1 second. I might. I want to see if I can find my image here so I can show you. Yep, there we go. That should be it. Where's my chart? All right, this one. Let me change the frame here just so everybody can see this. Hold on 1 second. Oh my god. It's way too much. Alright, there. That'll work. Let me just... There we go. Wait, alright, and then we go here. Alright, we got it. We're fitting in here. So yeah, I updated my charts here because I follow the challenge top 32s from month to month, and so I want to keep getting an idea of where exactly the metagame is at any given point here. So this little blue line here at the bottom is Merfolk, and it's ticked up to like just under 3% of the challenges. So yeah, we've actually been going through a pretty good period for just mono blue. Every one of these results was like for mono blue Merfolk, so we know that that shell is very strong. And you can see, Murktide's still up at the top here. Creativity has actually been really popular the last couple months. The Rakdos scam deck is still very high here. This is the Hammer Time deck, which is at kind of a low point for it, where it's around 6%, I think, which that's like the lowest Hammers has pretty much been since Modern Horizons 2. Yeah, and then the Rhino deck has also been on an uptick here. You can see, so yeah, a lot of this stuff shouldn't be terribly surprising. Like most of the really good decks are still at the top of the format, but it's moving a little bit, not super substantially, but at least Merfolk has finally gotten to a point where it's it has just barely made the list of decks now that I represent on my chart here, because I picked the top 16 or so decks, I think. And yeah, we are finally just on. If I go in my chart, I think it's I pick everything that's I want to say 2% or higher over the on average. So I want to pick stuff that's consistently there. And Merfolk is now, yeah, we're finally showing up in the chart. So that was kind of exciting to see that this is a pretty good period for Merfolk. So, all right, let me put this back here. Where are we at? Okay, MTGO. There we go. And here we got our list here. Yeah, we'll play Magic now. So we'll just quickly look at this list. So yeah, the big thing that you're adding here, extra 1-drops in Kumena Speaker, and Merfolk Mistbinder is your extra Lord. So you get to play with 16 Lords. We have 10 1-drops because we're including the Mistcaller. The idea for Simic is you just want to play stuff that costs as little as possible. So we're trying to avoid 3-drops. So Sphaloon, 3-drop, too slow for what we're doing. We're trying to kill the opponent before we even have to get to that point. And the sideboard is generally very aggressive stuff. So we have Harbinger of the Tides, Reclamation Sage, yeah, and Kira. They're all creature interactive things. Some subtleties here. Boseiju, I want to try splitting it like this because I think Boseiju will be a little bit better against Tron, but also it's an instant speed thing and it can't be countered, so that's kind of the same deal as Sage, where you can't really counter it if you put the Cavern on Shaman or you Vial it in. But yeah, this is at instant speed and it's easier to do than that, so I want to try it. And yeah, and then Chalice, you can play it on 0 pretty easily, so it's pretty easy. Let's get this started here. I know Joe's watching. He eagerly wants to see us try at least one match before he has to go. Is Boseiju worth it over the creature options? I'm splitting it right now, so we're gonna find out. This is part of why we're testing this concept. So. Yeah, this is like this. Tux Dev is definitely like the one of the biggest advocates for playing this sort of deck because like the people in his area just really get got by this a lot. I mean, I guess we're supposed to keep this, right? We have a 1-drop into like Lords or something. Sure. The naturalizes are mostly interchangeable, so we have like 14 green sources in the deck, so eventually, and plus Aether Vial, so we should be able to like find a way to put this in play eventually. But the real thing is like we have like lots of lords here, and this is what we want to do. Yeah, if I cut speaker, would I keep the 6? And I think the answer is pretty obviously yes. Like it would be a fine 6 anyway. Okay. Valakut Awakening. So this might be like a red-blue control list. Interesting. It feels like they probably have a bolt here, so I might just attack with the Mistcaller and then play the Trickster. It could also be Lotus Field. That's true. Let's see what they do. There's a Wooded Foothills. Alright, let's see if anything happens to this. Lotus Field Blood Sun is definitely possible. I don't think that there's any possibility that this is living in, but yeah. We'll see. There's a lot of nonsense here. Violent Outburst. Okay, so this is Rhinos, it looks like. Okay. No, Glimpse of Tomorrow. Oh my god. Okay, well, then fortunately we have the force for this. There we go. We smelled something was weird about this. Yeah, fuck that nonsense. Glimpse. Okay, yeah, it's been a long time since I played against this deck. Alright, so there we go. Hopefully we can kill them before things get too out of hand. Which we've got a really good chance of doing here, I think. I think they're like dead next turn. If they can't like kill off our board, then they're gonna die. Right. It'll be close. I guess what this could be like Omnath. They don't. Oh no, Shardless Agent. Okay. Yeah, well, I think I have to sack the Mistcaller to this one. Right? I don't think I have a choice. Yeah, because this will keep like the stupid creatures from entering the battlefield. Alright, well, they found like their Sword of Omniscience. Okay, well, no, they just had actual fucking omniscience. Okay, in there, I guess. Sure. Hopefully none of the cards in their hand are, like, actually good. Nope, we're dead. This doesn't have haste, right? No, but they have omniscience. They're gonna get, like, a bajillion cards. We're dead, so. We tried. Fortunately, we do have Chalice in the sideboard, which will help with this. Yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes. It's been a long time since we played against Glimpse, but... Alright, well, what are you gonna do? Sure. Let me just F6 and let the crowd enjoy this. See what's going on. Yeah, this is yeah, it's probably you're correct. I don't think that this is a game that like mono blue has any significant chance of winning where we are here. So, um, they have 4 cards in hand. They didn't like cast them. Is there like any reasonable possibility of like beating this? I could play a Lord here and then attack them for 7, but we're gonna take 7. I mean, they're good, but yeah, the thing is, then they gain 7 life back. So just trying to, yeah, because a Dismember could take away, so yeah, could take away 5 power from this thing, so they only gain 2 life. So we could put them to like a net of 11, but I don't know that that's enough. Mm. Yeah, because right now we're looking at taking 12 damage here, and this might be the only turn where Dismember is like reasonably castable. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't even have Island Walk anyway. Okay, well, all right. Let's. Yeah, the only thing we reasonably can do is just like pretend, because yeah, without Island Walk, there's like no hope of this. So I guess unless they block Atraxa with or block Trickster with Atraxa, then maybe I can dismember it and possibly, who knows, if the rest of their hand is just nonsense. Nope, they're not blocking. All right. Yeah, I guess not. Okay. All right. At least keep them off the lifelink. I don't know. Maybe there's some reasonable chance that if they have nothing and we like, okay, they just cast Force of Negation. Yeah, we're dead. Well, we do have 2 Chalice in the sideboard. I put them there because I wanted them against Cascade stuff. So, all right. Yeah, we definitely want the Chalices. Think there's a whole lot else. Like the Dismember is not really good. Yeah, so like, mm, kind of want to cut these Dismembers, but like all of these don't look like they're super amazing. Yeah, well, Zoe, this was not a ideal start for them to just start with a combo and just have redundant pieces to it, but it's okay. I think we've got a reasonable chance. Feel like maybe Rex Sage is the way to go because they do have like some enchantments that this thing does blow up. Just get rid of Dismember. The other option would be Kira. So they're gonna have stuff like Fury probably. At least I think they have Fury in this deck, so I think we're gonna take Rex Sage. So, all right. Well, we're on the play here. We have the Chalice. This is pretty good. I guess we're gonna keep this. I guess we just want them not to have Force of Negation. Well, they're mulling to 6, so lead off Botanical Speaker, and then next turn I might play Tide Shape. Yeah, I'll probably play Tide Shaper, Mistcaller. Or they're on 5 cards, so this is like the difference between, mono blue and Simic is that we have the extra 1 drops here to help us aggressive or be more aggressive versus these decks. Um, probably play Botanical here. So we're going to play 2 creatures anyway. I don't think it's worth holding the Tide Shaper to get their lands because they will just try to glimpse them away anyway, and I think they need the islands at some point, so... We just want to draw Lords now. We have like 16 of them to draw, so... Yeah. They have to find a way to deal with Chalice and then, like, somehow win. That was great. Okay. Just in case they have something like Mystical Dispute, we're going to put this in through Cavern and just crunch them. And this is it. This is like Simic's whole thing that makes it different. Yeah, we are absolutely going to just try to kill them here. All right, they gave us an island, so we have the extra buff here. They are dead next turn, so that is a thing. And yeah, it's not a big deal to sacrifice the Mistcaller if need be. I guess they figure like they're kind of screwed no matter what they do, so it doesn't really matter. The best they could do is like potentially cast Fury, kill off like Lord, and then one of the 1-drops. If they didn't fetch an island, then they could have potentially killed 2 1-drops, but yeah, that looked really good. So yeah, we just want like Force and Chalice, really. Well, we got to be careful. We don't want to mull too hard to this Chalice because they are playing Force of Negation, and if we like put all of our hopes and dreams into like one Chalice, we will probably die. Oh my god, this is very tempting. We have a 1-drop, we have Lords, but we only have 1 land. Fuck. We're on the draw. We have like 2 draws to find another land, but we also have 2 forces. They have mulliganed here. God. I feel like we're mulliganing, but they've gone to 6. It makes me really sad because this is like so close to a hand that just murders them, but I feel like because we are not guaranteed to deploy more than just this 1/1 Tide Shaper, then we have to mulligan. If it was a Chalice, I agree. I probably would have kept it. This is not really any better. I guess we probably keep this, but I'm not super impressed with this at all either. Or we could go to 5 and... I mean, it's better, but I guess... Would I keep this if I didn't have, like, an island here? We only have a Mistcaller, and... Yeah, I think... They mulled to 5, I think we need to mull to 5 as well. Alright, we're gonna have to keep this. This is just how it has to be. Alright. Goodbye, Reclamation Sage, and goodbye, second Force of Negation. Hope that we find another land so that we can go Kumena, Speaker, Master, and hope that's good enough. This is about it. This is as good as we can do, so. Alright, Merfolk. Yeah, there's only so much we can do. Like, we're not like dead yet. Like, we have some play here, but this is still hyper dependent upon really getting that second land. It's not nothing, but it's not really what we wanted. I don't think mulling to 4 or 3 was going to help us that much. We just have to not, like, die for 2 turns. They might be consider forcing that. That looked to me like that pause was, I have Force in my hand and he's on 1 land, so there's a kind of strong chance if they force Vial, then maybe, we don't do anything. That's what it read to me as. So if they just try to, like, go for... See, I think this is what's going to happen. They're going to outburst in our turn and just try to find something. Yeah, right here, they're going to outburst. We need them to just really miss on this thing. Alright, opponent. No whammies. Oh! Oh my god, that was so bad! Alright, well, we can't attack into it, but wow, they are really, really fucked. Alright, now we probably win. So we're going to be able to get this Hexcatcher out before they can get another Cascade going. Win the match, baby! That's how it's done. They had the amazing game 1, and then they had the absolutely terrible game 2, so... Yeah, sometimes they do just implode. Glimpse is a deck, like, it does put up challenge results, so, like, I do see it when I'm collecting my data for it, but it's not, like, a huge deck in the metagame, and it's been quite a while, I think, since we've actually played against it on stream here, but it's one of those decks you should play, like, if you're just, like, a naturally lucky person, definitely play that deck, because, you can just very easily just win the game in, like, turn 3 by casting a single Cascade spell. But you can also have that happen, too, if you are not a lucky person, so... Alright, hold on. I think they only get to reveal 3 cards, or you shuffle all the permanents you own into your deck, and then you reveal that many cards from the top of the deck, so... They shuffle 3 lands away, and then they reveal the top 3, and then any permanents that are, then any permanents that they find, they get to put into play, so if they find, like, Omniscience, Atraxa, then they're probably just winning the game, but sometimes you just miss, so, this is obviously a mulligan. This is a fine keep. We'll put the breeding pool on the bottom. Okay. They didn't, but I think that they wanted to before we found, like, Chalice or maybe got another land for Hexcatcher. I'm sure that Hexcatcher was probably a thing that they were considering there, so... Okay, so Marsh Flats, that doesn't really inspire a lot of confidence in me, but... I guess let's play the Speaker first. This hand's okay. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but we only have, like, 2 creatures here, and this might be, like, Rakdos, or the Scam deck. And definitely, it's not a lot, like, having the 3rd land against them this early is probably not great. Profane Tutor. That's not good, right? Okay, I don't remember what deck is playing the Profane Tutor, but it doesn't fill me with good feelings here. Well, we definitely are going to play the Mistbinder here, and then I think next turn we probably just jam both of these. We could Tide Shape the Crypt. It's possible. Is it mono black? They're playing, like, the Blood Crypt in this deck. So yes, we have the option of playing Mistbinder, or we could play Tide Shaper. Yeah, I might, if it is, like, mono black, then I might want to keep Tide Shaper back anyway, so I'm going to play the Mistbinder. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to kill them before something bad happens. Yeah, well, that's what threw me off here. Like, Profane Tutor, I know that the mono black deck plays it, but I wasn't sure about, like... Okay. They discarded a Marsh Flats. Alright, fine. See, like, they had an... Oh, my god. Well, we have Dismember to kill this thing. Oh, wait, is this that stupid, like, Reanimator deck? Do we have to be worried about, like, Emrakul or something? That might be what's happening. The Goryo... Oh, okay, well, we found the Force of Negation, so that's good. So what I'm going to do is dismember this, and then we're just going to keep up, like, Tideshaper plus Force of Negation. This looks like this might be Reanimator food, yes. Alright, let's get rid of this nonsense. Before they can start making a bajillion foods that kill off all of our creatures. They only have 2 cards in hand, so their 2 cards might literally just be like Emrakul Gorios, and if we force the Gorios, then they actually just like lose the game, so. So we're just hoping they don't have like Thoughtseize, I guess. It's not that bad, and we have the benefit of this deck having all 4 of these things, yeah, all 4 forces in the main deck. Okay. Well, they decided to discard a land for a food token here, so maybe they have like another one of these guys. Another Asmo would be bad, but I'm guessing if they just cast Tutor, they're probably going to try to go for this combo. They discard Godless Shrine. Okay. There's nothing I can do about that. They don't have Oval Chase, that's correct. Or at least not as far as we know. We need another Dismember badly. Fucking yes! That's what I'm talking about. Okay, alright, let's kill this thing right now. They can kill off my Mistbinder. Yeah, that's fine. We get to keep the speaker. And I'm going to keep the Tideshaper in hand just in case they find Gorios. Because they could just be like trying to set up for this, so. Alright, well, there's still at least another land off of that because they discarded all of them, so. Come on, blue card! That's actually really good. Okay, we're going to play this Mistbinder here. Crunch in for 3. Alright, we're getting closer. Alright, it's good. Means their hand is probably full of dink. Oh, well, they got Oval Chase now, but. Alright, so they're going to make like a million food tokens. I'm assuming they're going to crack one of them here. Sure, it's fine. It's annoying, but they are still somewhat limited by their mana, so like we can still try to race this. So they discard Atraxa, and I'm guessing they're going to cast Gorios right now. We know what their last card is. Alright, Breeding Pool is not exactly what I was hoping for here. But we know that they don't really have anything, so we're just trying to hurt them as badly as we can right now. I guess we're going to play it. Not really a good reason not to. Force off the top would be pretty awesome. Alright, well, they top decked a land, so. Okay, well, they're at 9, so. They have, like, all the food tokens in the world, but they're still constrained by their mana, like, as to how much. We need a Lord here, I think, actually. Yes, because now this lets us race what they're doing. They're at 2. They can gain 8 life here, go to 10, but we actually have 10 in play, so just gaining life is not a strategy for them here. They gave up. Couldn't they have, like, cast this thing as a blocker? Where did it go? I don't know. It's 4 mana, right? I think they... No, I guess they... No, that still wouldn't work, because we'd still have two... Yeah, these two. So, yeah, I guess they just drew nothing and they died. Alright, excellent. Dismember, great. Force, great. I think Chalice is good. Mistcaller is fantastic. It will do exactly what we want to do. Probably Kira here is actually fine. So I don't know if we need Chalice, but Kira for sure. Alright, so we're going to take out something for Kira. Probably... Trickster is actually not bad. The naturalizes are also fine. Well, Chalice on 0 stops Asmo, and on 1 it stops, like, a lot of the other nonsense. We could, yeah, we could side out, this, like this. The only other things, like, yeah, do we want to have, like, the Reclamation Sage or Boseiju? It could definitely be a Saga deck. Actually, it's very likely is a Saga deck, so... I don't think we want Harbinger. I think Trickster is a little bit better because Goryo's will make them sacrifice at the end of turn, so that's fine. Saga is likely, so maybe we are supposed to have the Reclamation Sages. Yeah, that seems like that's okay. So we still have to cut. If we're going to do this, then we have to get rid of 2 cards here. And I like most of these. Like, they're all pretty good. I mean, we could maybe get rid of, like, 2 of the Lords. Goryo's Vengeance will make them sacrifice whatever they reanimated at end of turn. So if we Trickster it and tap it down, they have to lose whatever they reanimated at end of turn. So a Trickster effectively is a counterspell for Goryo's Vengeance. They won't be able to attack with it, but they still have to sacrifice it at end of turn. Hexcatcher, I think, is going to be valuable. I think we just do it like this. Yeah. I'm trying to also explain it for anybody who might not have had this interaction come up for them before, where Trickster is very good. This hand is also very good. The ETB trigger does still happen, unfortunately, so if they go for a Traxa, then there's not really a lot they get a bunch of cards off of it, but such is life. No. We're not, they mulliganed pretty hard for that, so we're not going to give that to them. Let's play Cavern and Merfolk and pass. Right. Yeah, they did go down to 6 cards in the play just to do that, and yeah, they don't have a follow-up for it, so... It looks like forcing it was probably correct, and of course, you know, we are super good at Magical the Gathering cards, so we just get everything. Okay. And I think here I'm just going to play Lord of Atlantis because it's the... If they use removal on it, that's not that big a deal. Probably will, if I can keep the Hexcatcher, or I don't know, like one of these two is, we have everything I think we need for right now, so, sure, get rid of that, that's fine. They could do that, sure, but they're on 2 cards left here. It's not like they have a lot to do at this point. I don't need to play anything right here, I can just wait till their turn. And I'll probably play the, Trickster. Double Dismember is, in fact, not terrible. Alright, yes. So I'm okay playing Hexcatcher. No, they F6 to the turn. That's a good sign. If they ever do find Asmo, then we do have Dismember for it. But we're hoping that they never get to do it in the first place. Okay, Drum is useless. That was a dumb top deck. It's one of their Saga targets. That's also really good. Uh, you know what? I actually feel like playing the Hexcatcher was a mistake because I would have rather flashed this in. So yeah. So yeah, I should have played the Lord first because then I could hold up Force and then still put in Hexcatcher at the end of their turn. Whereas like here, playing the Master is not really. Oh yeah, you know what? I should have played it on tap too. I was so focused on like that fuck up that I ignored the other one. All right, well, they're not doing anything, so it kind of worked out for us. But all right, that's great. Now I can afford to play the Master here. I still have the blue card up for Force, and like they're 1,000% dead. They're just drawing nonsense. I mean, it's a better pitch than Hexcatcher, but at the same time, like it would have let us deploy creatures faster and not put the shields down. So just small edge cases. They have nothing. Like they have this thing in the graveyard, but like they're not getting it back. So actually, I probably I don't know. Playing the Mistcaller there might not have actually been that smart. Okay, Vigilance and Haste. Whenever it attacks, look at the top six. They don't have. This thing does not have haste at the moment, so. And I'm just gonna dismember this thing. So yeah, they are just dead. All right, we win. Excellent. Look at that. Crunch time. Yeah, it is nice. It looks like it's kind of like a mini Atraxa where it like gives them some card advantage for their nonsense. So they reanimate it, they get an attack in, they get some cards, and it's like okay, that's fine. I guess it's theoretically castable if you flood out, so it's fine. But yeah, no, that's kind of yeah. I guess that kind of showcases like why we're doing this because we just want to kill them fast, and we have a lot lower of a curve to do that. So, but yeah, these are not like typical matches by any means. This hand seems quite fine. We can just lead off with one drops and then play a Lord. Living in Gear 1 is pretty nice. Yeah, and we have the tools to stay in Gear 1. Okay, there's a Misty. Okay, well, that changes what we're doing here, so let's play the island and the Aether Vial. Are they going to Spell Pierce my Aether Vial? Nope. Okay. So this might be Rhinos. Could also be Murktide. Looks like Rhinos. Which Hexcatcher is going to be really good for that. That's pretty good. So let's go Merfolk here. And I don't actually need to play anything right now. Or you know what? It actually is not the worst idea in the world to play something. Because these are literally all going to be 2/2s, and if they play Rhinos, then I get to just untap and then just put like Master and Hexcatcher in, and then we just actually race them. No, I don't think that there's a good reason to do this. I mean, we could upkeep the Hexcatcher, I guess, but they could potentially like Fire and Ice and kill one of these things, and then they play the Rhinos, and then we're attacking them for 4 with Island Walk. That doesn't seem bad. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's true. Like, they could just play the Hexcatcher, and then we put in a 1-drop. Like, all right. I actually kind of like this idea of playing the 1-drops here. Well, they have an island in play, so yeah, I can play this thing. I guess the only like really bad thing is if they have like Fury and they put Rhinos in play. But this is kind of what the whole thing here is, so like if they don't do anything significant on this turn, they're probably just dead, so yeah, like I don't actually think this line's gonna like if oh fuck, it's Glimpse again? Okay, alright, I was not prepared for a Glimpse. Alright. Fuck, alright, well we're just gambling now. Oh, and Glimpse missed hard. Okay, they're fucked. They're dead. Like they lose the game. We just actually just beat them right now. Okay, well, Merfolk. Yep. Take 12 and die. And I will throw away as many one drops as it takes to protect this Hexcatcher. Alright, cool. Excellent. That is one of the nice things about playing this version of the deck is you can just kind of kill them and you can afford to take some of those like racing kind of lines where it's like you have to kill me right now because I will kill you otherwise. Yeah, Glimpse twice in one league is like ridiculous. Okay, what did we actually do last time? I don't even remember. Yeah, Chalice obviously is really good, and I think we said Rec Sage, right? And then Dismember came out. Is that it? Do we like do anything different? I think this looks fine. I mean, there's some argument to Boseiju, but like not really. Yeah, I think this is okay. Yeah, it's fine. We have tons of interaction. Like, oh, we got Chalice here. That's great. So we're definitely going to keep this. They kept a 7-card hand, so let's see what happens. They actually like need Force of Negation, or they just lose. So here's the thing that I'm going to do. I'm actually going to wait till next turn to play this Chalice. So I can play the Tide Shaper, then next turn I can play Hexcatcher, then play Chalice so I can actually potentially beat Force of Negation. I think. Alright, no, they could still pay for it though. That's not gonna work. Right? Yeah. So they will have 2 lands, assuming they don't play something tapped. But so it's do they have Force in their hand now, or are they gonna draw it? Because there's also some possibility that they might play a land tapped just to save life. Yeah, I don't think like the only cost is like they have like a 1 out of 53 chance of drawing a Force. So I guess, but there is definitely a non-zero chance that they will play a land tapped, which means that Hexcatcher can force this Chalice in. Or I guess that could happen where they just have Grief. What? Nicol Bolas. Okay, so like I guess I don't think I knew that this deck played Grief in it, but I guess they can only take one of these, right? So we still have Hexcatcher to like stop the Glimpse. So like does this mean they have an answer to Chalice? Kind of looks to me like they do. Or are we? Okay. Well, we drew Hexcatcher. So they're not going to be, yeah, Thoughtseize Bug indeed. They're not going to be glimpsing next turn no matter what happens. they do have a fetch land, but I want to be able to just like play creatures without having to worry about whether they're cracking their fetch or not. I want this in play before they like get 3 untapped lands. That's why. And it's also dealing them extra damage right now, so kind of okay with this. Sure, I guess I'll play the island. I don't think there's a huge difference like to not playing it, so. Okay, so I'm assuming they're gonna Boseiju here. Alright, that's sort of okay. It puts it onto the battlefield. I think it's worth this, and then we have our Mistbinder mana up. I can play Trickster and then play Mistbinder plus potentially any creature I draw, so. I don't know that Boseiju helped them a whole lot. Yeah, they realized that immediately. It's like, oh, Hexcatcher's still a thing, so. 3-0 in this league is such a weird league, but it's kind of showing the power of having all the 1-drops and all the green cards, I guess. We're flying through this, too. I like being able to race these decks. That's very nice. The one thing that Merfolk usually doesn't have is a lot of speed, so this is giving us the ability to actually just outrace a lot of these things. Yeah, the Boseiju, I agree. I think that Boseiju like kind of helped us more than it hurt us, because it put another creature like available to us to flash in, which they knew we had the Trickster, so I guess that they didn't have a choice. Like they needed to play the they needed to play the Boseiju to get rid of the Chalice, and I don't know. It just seems weird. Yeah. They didn't. I guess the only way out is if maybe they had like Veil of Summer, but I would still just sacrifice like at least one creature to it. So that's fair. They must have known they had. Well, there was a turn where I think they didn't use the Boseiju though, so I'm not sure if they had it at the time or not. This hand seems fine. We're gonna keep it. We have turn 1 Vial. They mull to 6. Oh my god. Alright, what are we doing here? We just have a pile of lords, and hopefully this Vial will help us spew out all of them. Wait, what? Oh, wait, we're on the play. Okay, hold on. I didn't even realize. Vial in the play? Sign me up. Yeah. So then we can just go Lord, and then, the next turn play 2 Lords, and it's pretty straightforward from there. Arid Mesa, so maybe this is like Burn. Maybe this is like Murktide or something. I'm not sure. I guess let's play out a Merfolk Mistbinder. This guy's history has 2 results back from the Oko days. It's Burn, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think there's a lot of decks that are going to like start off with Arid Mesa here, so I would assume Burn is correct. But yeah, it's not really going to matter. Okay, Triome, neat. Alright, so this is the Plain Swamp Forest one. So we're playing against the Absinthe. So what does that mean? Is this like Domain, maybe? This plus Fiery Islet. What the fuck is playing with these 2 cards? Like, Fire? Okay. I mean, it kind of sucks that we didn't have our second Lord up for that, but this looks like it could be another Cascade deck. But if they try that same line again, it is not going to work, so... This time we have a Vial ready to protect the Lord. It could be Rhinos, so we have Hexcatcher to, like, stop it. Um... If it is Rhinos, I think we were able to race it anyway, so I don't really care too much if they, like, go for it at this point. Oh, they have another fire. Oh, that sucks. Alright. I guess if that's all they're... Yeah, that was kind of awful. So if we waited till our turn, we could, like, flash in Hexcatcher in response. It would have been way better. Always no. Okay, well... This is not going to happen again. Yeah, I'm absolutely playing Hexcatcher now. Because now their removal doesn't kill any of my creatures. They need, like, a Fury to kill one thing. And it's not looking great for them, because if they, like, tap out for Rhinos here, they actually just die to Island Walk. So... I think Fury is realistically the only thing they can play this turn that, like, keeps them in the game. And even that, like, doesn't necessarily... It's, like, it's not clear that they're going to win if they do that. So we still have, like, Trickster and Dismember to push our way through these things. Yeah, honestly, if they play Rhinos at this point, like, I'm not going to counter it, so... I will simply let them have it and then attack them with Island's Walk for the win. So, okay. They are choosing to do nothing here because I guess they realize that, like, our board is very threatening to them. That's not bad either. Okay. I guess we're just attacking with everything. Because they can't, like, Rhinos and kill off a creature. Ice, they're gonna tap one thing. I guess I'm okay with that. Sure. Okay, opponent, that's fine. I don't think that helps you at all. You're at 5, so, like, yeah, I don't know. Going to 4, sure. What are you gonna do? So, right, yeah, this doesn't look great for them no matter what. No, they give up. Okay, cool. So this is like 1,000% another Rhino, like a Rhino deck, right? So we want Chalice here. Mistcaller looks pretty bad, and I guess maybe like either Subtlety or Kira could be okay. Dismember doesn't look like it's terribly useful. Yeah, I think Kira's good. We can get rid of these things. They do have, like, I think mystical disputes, and I expect them to bring those in, but like we could also bring in like Harbinger, and yeah, because they do have like Murktide, so Harbinger seems fine. Subtlety would also be okay. Either way, I think yeah, Harbinger bouncing either Murktide or Rhino token seems fine. But yeah, the Subtlety does get rid of like the Fury plays. Yeah, that is an option. We could like do that. Yeah, that seems reasonable. We could do it like this. And I do think this is one match where the Simic list has a significant advantage over the mono blue one. All right, how do we feel about this? I'm not 100% sold in this hand. This like you know, even if we like if this was a 6 card hand with 3 lands, that seems like it's not a lot. So I think I'm mulliganing that. God damn it. Well, they're keeping 7 cards. Yeah, I don't think I can keep 1 land here. All right, well we got Chalice. All right, so we're definitely gonna keep this, I guess. I want to keep a breeding pool for the Kumena speaker, so I guess I get rid of 1 cavern and goodbye subtlety. Probably about as much as we can hope. It's not exactly what I was hoping to see right now, but yes. Um, Probably just play Cavern of Souls, Chalice, and then Island next turn. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I expect them to have some answer to Chalice. That's for sure going to be the case. I don't know if they're putting Force of Negation in their list post board. I expect they probably have Mystical Dispute, but I don't know if they have Force. Maybe. So that's the only thing I was considering. Is like if we play it now, then it's we might play around that. That seems pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Attack first. The only thing I'm concerned about is like I don't want to play into Fury. So I might play this at the end step. Because they'll still only be able to kill off 1 creature or so the only thing we're really worried about I think right now I could play the Tide Shaper and just like hit the Triome or something. That'll kind of tell us what the makeup of their hand is like. We are playing chicken with the rhinos again. I don't think our hand is like. I think what I want to do is it. Yeah, it does get blown out by Fury. Yeah, I guess the thing is on the end step, like they can still like fire or the Hexcatcher away, but I guess that's it. Whereas if they try to bounce Chalice right now, I can protect it. See, like here, we can play the Hexcatcher. I guess it's gonna be goodbye, Speaker. This is still super vulnerable, but at least we don't have to worry about rhinos now. It was either that or they might have like Brazen Borrower to bounce it, so I I guess I should just counter this thing, like make them pay the extra 1. Because then I don't have to take the 1 damage if they don't want to pay for it. It's not ideal. Alright. Like, I don't, like, yeah, we're kind of flooding out here on a mull to 5, so this is not perfect, but we're doing the best we can. Yeah, Simic is definitely, like, less good as the game goes longer. You really want to win it as quickly as possible, so... Game 3, at least, we get to be on the play, so we get a really good chance for a strong 7 on the play that just murders them. But, I mean... I'm not, like, hugely convinced that Mono Blue is going to do a lot better in this match. Mono Blue definitely, like... The longer this game goes, I think the more it's going to favor them, but you really want to try to kill them before they get too much nonsense going. Like, this is Force of Vigor. Oh, they're hard casting Force. Neat. Alright. I guess we're just off to the races here. Um, whatever. I'm just gonna play the Flooded Strand, and just in case they have something like Blood Moon, I can crack it and get an island. I have seen them play Blood Moon before. Like, even though it seems like it'd be really stupid for them to do so, there is still a very strong chance they would try to play Blood Moon. Because, like, I've seen it happen before, so I'd rather just play it and be protected from that just in case. I mean, Fury's gonna suck if they have it, but, like, we're not realistically beating it otherwise, so... I need them to just not have removal so that we can just island walk them to death. Like, if they can't kill this Lord of Atlantis and we draw a Lord, we win. Come on! It's not the one. Alright. I guess it's going to tell us if they have it. Alright, so they don't have... It was not the right Lord. Alright, but they still have Island Walk, so they're dead in 2 turns. The game is not over. They obviously don't have removal, or they would have used it on the Lord right there, so... They have to kill Lord of Atlantis, or otherwise they're dead. So, like, we can take 10 and be fine. Alright, what do we got? That's great, we win. I don't think they can beat us having a Lord off the top. Yeah. Okay. Do they have Leyline Binding? No? Okay, then you're dead. Alright, we win. There we go. We're 4-0 with this. So that is 3 Cascade decks that have died to the Simic Crunch. Yeah, we lost 1 game to, like, the first Glimpse deck because they got incredibly lucky in game 1. So, we're going for the 5-0, like, an hour in. This is like half the amount of time that my Modern Leagues normally take, so... Where's Contra? Contra, why are you not here for this? This is amazing. Yeah, Joe, you said you were only going to be here for, like, 1 game. This is not your typical Modern League where 1 game takes, like, 40 minutes. We're going for it. You can't leave now. You've already stayed for the first 4 victories, right? So you've got to see it through at this point. This is actually convincing me that maybe we need to be, like, looking at this deck list a lot harder than we are right now, because there definitely seems to be a hell of a lot of play to it, especially in, like, some of these super, like, these grindy Cascade matches like Rhinos, where I really like having a very fast clock to pressure them with. I think Kumena Speaker is exactly the card that we want against that deck because it pressures them to have their removal is clunky, and if we have like two creatures in play before they have like a lot of their removal online, we're going to murder them a lot more consistently, I think. So we are drawing a lot of hex and one drops, but at the same, remember, we have like 10 1-drops in our deck, and we're playing the full set of Force of Negation and the full set of Hexcatchers. So it's true that I might consider like jamming like a third Chalice in the sideboard. I don't know if I'd find space for the fourth one, but definitely at least one more. This hand seems fine. We're gonna keep this. Okay, we actually are on the draw here, so there we go. The subtleties are mostly just so like we have a chance in hell against like Titan, I think. I don't think that there's any reasonable chance that like this Mistcaller is getting countered, but it's pretty free to just play this Cavern of Souls anyway, so we don't. Misty Rainforest probably means it's safe to play Tideshaper. This thing is more likely to attack for 2 or 3, so is it like I feel like the Titan deck is going to be harder than it was normally, so if this is another Glimpse deck, then I don't think that we're hugely worried about it, because we do have a Hexcatcher to play if like we have any inkling that that's a thing that's going to happen. It'll depend on what their turn 2 looks like, so I don't know. I don't know exactly what we're up against, but Misty Rainforest means it could definitely be another Cascade deck. Basic Island, oh, it's Living End, so we're definitely gonna. I think we're jamming probably Hexcatcher first. They don't have Grief, so that's kind of nice. I guess we want to play the Flooded Strand and get an island. Oh, I'm 100% playing Hexcatcher. I actually think maybe they might have like Brazen Borrower, so I may want to play Hexcatcher on their upkeep so they can't bounce it and then like Cascade. Yes, upkeep is definitely the way to go. Then on my then the following turn I can just play Mistcaller plus a Lord, and it's like it's basically it. And we can just keep sacrificing like like Tideshaper and Lords to Hexcatcher if we need to. I don't really want to sack the Mistcaller until like the last thing, so. We played 4 Cascade decks, so like yeah, I got to agree, like it might not be the most representative, but I do think that this league has done a really good job of showing off why somebody might consider doing this in the first place. Because this is exactly like the kind of meta where you would want to play lower to the ground, so. Hexcatcher is just really good against Cascade in general, no matter what nonsense payoff spell they're using. We've played literally like all 3 variants of Cascade at this point, so. So we do this before they find. Oh my god, they had Subtlety. Like, okay, then I guess it didn't matter what we did here, so. Fuck. I guess we want it on top, but I guess they're gonna just get a bunch of shit back here, so. I don't think we could. Yeah, our decision did not matter because of it. So they have to do it right now, right? Why would you not like? Oh god, we could have had another Hexcatcher in our hand. So like, I don't understand this. Yeah, leading on Shaper did turn out to be the problem here. So I don't know. I wasn't sure if this was gonna be like Rhinos, where maybe the Shaper was gonna matter more. All right, they're at 14. We are at effectively 17. It still might be possible to race this. Okay, we definitely have to pay the 2 life here. Yeah, we play the Mistcaller. I think we're. I don't think we can afford to play the Hexcatcher, right? I think we have to play the Mistbinder. Yeah. So they're gonna attack us for 10. Um. Okay, I'm just trying to think if there's any realistic possibility. Like, how would we beat this? Because we're getting it. We're gonna go to 7 from this. I can block this. Like if I draw, even if I draw a land off that, if I draw island off the top, they're still gonna have 7 flying, so that's gonna kill us. So, assuming that we take this, then we could theoretically draw Trickster, take 6 off of this. So I think Trickster's the only thing. We have to top deck exactly Trickster. That's not gonna do it. We're dead, right? Yeah, like I don't think that there's no playing around this whatsoever. So and thinking about that, maybe I was supposed to put the Hexcatcher on the bottom because like we could have done the math then. So that definitely could. There were 2 different decisions that I made that were wrong, and yeah, that's it is what it is. But we definitely have a very good matchup versus this, so I think we can fix this a little bit. All right, we want Chalice, we want Force. I think we want Subtlety, right? Maybe, or Harbinger. Either Subtlety or Harbinger seem like they're fine. Maybe Harbinger. Well, the only thing I'm thinking about is like, yeah, I don't know. Do we need Subtlety to force like Hexcatcher through or something? Or yeah, that's true. But the other option is we could just like play Harbinger. Yeah, it's good when we're dead. Yeah, it's pretty close to me. I think we'll try it like this. This hand is fantastic. Let's play this before it can get griefed out of our hand and hope they don't have force. Yeah, that's kind of sucks. If we end up losing because we didn't play like Mistcaller in turn 1, then that will feel really bad. There's the grief. Okay, cool. I don't really care what they take here, so sure, fine. I'm gonna play. That's not bad either. All right. I guess Mystical Dispute is possible here, but I can't really play around that, so. Yeah, it is a little bit weird. You would think they'd take the Island Walk Lord first. I don't know why. That was strange. Um, yes, let's attack. I don't know what they're waiting for here. I guess that's possible. So I get right now the card I'm thinking about is Brazen Borrower. They might be trying to petty theft this Chalice. Uh, let's try. Is there any value to keeping Subtlety here at the moment? If they have exactly like Brazen Borrower into, yeah, if they like petty theft into this, then yeah, we're kind of screwed. Well, the other option is like we could like jam Subtlety and like we could throw away the Tide Shaper and the Subtlety, so we get back like a Mistbinder and a Subtlety versus their Grief plus that. But I don't know like how good that's gonna be. Yeah, I think we just kind of have to do it. I just hope that it doesn't happen. All right, they cycle here. That's fine. All right, cycle again. Sure. I guess Force of Vigor is also possible, but we can't really play around that. So there's the Force of Vigor. All right, sure. And I guess this, yeah, it's just happening now. So yeah, I think we're just dead. That's unfortunate. All right, we're dead. Like we're not beating this, so. Ah, fuck. All right, I should have played the Mistcaller in the first game. I'm gonna blame Contra for not being here because I think Contra would have told me to play Mistcaller. He needed to be here for the 5-0, but that's all right. No, this deck definitely felt like it was really strong, so I'm very pleased with it, and I think I will play this again. I mean, Mistcaller did look really good because we played against like 3 decks that it just was really strong against, so I don't know how representative that is of that, but I mean, it definitely has earned its 2 slots. Oh yeah, you did. Well, you did say play Mistcaller. That's fair. So I don't know. Do I have any other like critiques about this? Like, I don't know, maybe playing like a third Chalice because it does seem like this card's been really useful. I don't know. I don't know if we need like all 3 subtleties. We're not realistically casting this card for 4 mana very often, whereas like mono blue on 20 lands is more realistically going to cast this. So maybe, and against like a lot of the decks playing the elementals and stuff like that's it's a lot of stuff like um yeah, it's a lot of stuff like rhinos anyway, where we just want to go underneath them very fast. Yeah, thanks. Thank you for being here, Joe. I know you only said you wanted to stick around for a little bit, but we flew through this pretty fast, so that was kind of nice. Yeah, like there definitely are times where subtlety is good, but it's not like necessary. I think in this particular deck, so I could see cutting the third subtlety for like a third chalice. That like yeah, we saw on the metagame chart like Rhinos has been upticking a lot, so it makes sense to play more cards that are good against it that will cost us 0 mana. So it's kind of nice for that. Um, Harbinger is going to matter a little bit more against some of the other decks, like maybe Scam or Murktide for sure, maybe Hammers. But we also have we do have other cards for some of those matches. Like Hammers is going to get got by some of these things, hopefully. So I don't know. It feels like we got a lot of tools and like a lot of power to this. Very very strong. And yeah, Kumena Speaker definitely I think is a huge contributing force to that. Being able to consistently attack for 3 on turn 2 is very good. So the only subtlety target you really want is Fury. Yeah, that's fair. Um, I'll have to take your word for it that this is going to be better against Titan because it really feels to me like Titan is still probably killing us in turn 3 like most of the time, but I don't know. Their deck now has gotten a lot faster. I don't know. Maybe like and the thing is, like, Boseiju, I think, is fast enough to interact with it, but I don't know if Reclamation Sage is going to be fast enough to do. Like, I think we still have to bring it in, but yeah, we're not casting it until turn 3 anyway, and they might be actually be killing us before Reclamation Sage ever gets rid of an Amulet of Vigor. So that I'm a little unsure of, but I mean the rest of it seems like it's fine. Like Rec Sage being a shaman does mean that like you can, if you really need to, you can set a Cavern of Souls to shaman, and you have 10 shamans to put into play with it because of the green cards here. So that is kind of nice. I mean, it coming with a body is always a good thing too. So yeah, and that's the thing for like the green splash. You want to play a lot more of these kind of cards, like effects on a body. So that's why like stuff like Mistcaller and stuff like Reclamation Sage and even like Kira is going to be a little bit better here because you really want most of your sideboard. The sideboard cards either have to be like very difficult to deal with. Like Boseiju is, you can't counter it, or like 0 mana stuff like Subtlety or Chalice, or it has to be like attached to a body to keep up the pressure. So yeah, if Masked Vandal is easier to do, I agree, I would do it. So yeah, and I like playing cards that like in this sort of deck that cost 0 mana, like Chalice is definitely good. You don't want to generally play like spells that cost more than 2 at the absolute maximum for this. So yeah, and Tux, you said you played like Surgical in your sideboard with this because your local metagame had a bunch of people playing graveyard nonsense. So I guess that makes sense. Surgical is definitely this kind of card that fits into this, where you just cast it for 0 mana and it's good interaction against the decks you want it for. So yeah, I agree. That's the kind of thing that makes sense. I might even consider something like Force of Vigor if we had slightly more green cards in here, but we're not quite at the density where like we can realistically cast it on time. So, but that's it's really close, right? Because if we had like forces here, we have 8 green cards in the main, but I think you need to be closer to at least like 16 to do it. I don't. Yeah, it's yeah. I don't know. It seems fine though. I do think that this mana base is probably exactly where it needs to be because it gives you just enough islands or ability to fetch islands to try to play around stuff like Blood Moon, but also consistently the mana you need, like 14 green sources to make sure you can turn one a Kumena Speaker, or you have your Vial and stuff. So yeah, and playing Mistcaller does make, yeah, I agree, it makes the Surgicals a little bit less important. But yeah, this was really good. I enjoyed this a lot. Oh my god. Twitter changed like the interface here, and now like I have lost like where everything is here, and I have no idea where to find any of this now. uh, I don't know. I don't know if anybody else like has noticed that, but yeah, I opened up Twitch to, or I'm sorry, I meant Twitch, right? I said Twitch. I hope I did anyway. But like, yeah, this whole layout thing is now really weird because it's like everything that am used to seeing on the layout here is now all like gone. So I don't know if there's one that was like there. I'm looking because I wanted to go and raid, yeah, somebody, but now the button for it is like completely like just lost to me. I have no idea where it's at the moment. Yeah, Twitch, Twitter, same difference at all. How is it? Oh, Discord too. All right, I gotta talk about this for a second. Discord, if there's a thing on Discord where they're working on changing the UI for Discord, and there's like a hidden function where you can go in and like long press on like the star emote in order to find it, and it's just, I looked at it and it is like completely appalling, and I absolutely despise it, and I don't understand how every time that like one of these companies changes the UI, it somehow like manages to screw up everything and just make it look like entirely worse. Yeah, it's terrible, awful. And now like what happened to my sidebar? Oh, there it is. Oh god. Why is it like this all the time? Every page is a stream somewhere using up absurd. Yeah. Oh my god. I don't know how it is like any of these companies like survive the way that they do because it just seems ridiculous to me. All right, where is like the raid thing on here? I don't even know. Is it quick actions? Is this the one? Please tell me this is it. Okay, this looks like this is the one. So I get rid of this and like move this down here. Okay, that's gonna have to live here because that's the only way that this works. Perfect. All right, we got it. I like the idea of being able to rearrange this stuff, and you know what? I will say that I enjoy that for Twitch, but what I don't enjoy is when I'm ready to start my stream, they've already changed it like for me by default. Like, can you maybe, I don't know, let me like do it on my own time instead of like finding out about it like minutes before my stream? Like that I don't know, that doesn't seem like a great decision, but your MTG directory page gets up to 1 gig in memory usage over. Oh, yeah. Remember that when like designing games and stuff was like, okay, I have like 2 megabytes to fit on this little cartridge, and like my whole game has to work on this, or otherwise I don't get to play games. Yeah, it's just not gonna work. Like, so you have all this attention to like memory optimization and trying to find ways to compress its stuff, and really really working hard on making sure that everything works right and fits right, because the limitations were so narrow that like you couldn't afford to screw up. Where now you get a lot of games that come out and it's like, okay, this game's like, I don't know, like 100 gigabytes. Like, is that really the best you could do? Like 100 gigs for this game? Come on. Like, I have a hard time imagining that. It's like that all of the games like are really the best they could do is like that. Yeah, and day zero patches on top of it. Like, I do miss, when they actually had to work on, it's either you fix the game before you release it, or it's just going to be remembered as a shitty game for all time because you didn't fix the bugs on it. So it's like, in theory, you would think being able to patch a game is great, but like in practice, what ends up happening is like they just release a buggy mess and then like worry about it later, and half the time it doesn't even work. Well, what was the like? Oh, is it Cyberpunk? I think was the one where they released it. And it worked so poorly that they like had to like unrelease the game. It's like, wow, what a way we have come. So, all right, we're gonna go visit Doomwake. That's what's gonna happen here. Yeah, he's. I see a Fable of the Mirror Breaker in his hand. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's go check out what he's doing.
God.
Uh-oh. No, I don't want that there. Please tell me that... Oh, god damn it. This is the top one he was playing, isn't it? There we go. Better! Okay, great. See, I did not mute that last time, so... Alright. What is it? YS8 and PC release was really bad. Yeah, I don't know. It's... As somebody who's been gaming since, like, the NES, like, SNES era, like... that kind of stuff really bothers me. It's like, I love the idea that like we can get DLC and stuff, but I really really despise like how lazy it has, and and it's not just this, but it's also like the corporatization of a lot of this stuff, and how hard people are pushing. Like, you have to have smaller and smaller deadline windows, and quality doesn't fucking matter as long as we make the release date. Like, the whole thing is just a mess, and like it feels like there's some quality about it that has just been lost. Like, yeah, kind of like incomplete. I agree. You just don't have to worry about like releasing it complete and working. So I don't know. All right, I'm done with this. we've been streaming for what, like an hour and just under an hour and a half here. So there we go. If you're watching the replay, do me a favor, pretty please. All right. Give this stream a thumbs up. This was a really good rebound league after last time's fucking 0-5 disaster. So we came back and we had a really really good league here with this list, and I thought this was pretty convincing to me that I at least want to try more leagues with this, because the amount of pressure that we could, apply to people, and just, the ability to race them through the nonsense is just great. So it shows, like, we don't have to go for the grindy mid-range plan if we don't want to, but this might be a little bit disproportionate because we did play against like 4 Cascade decks, but at the same time, like, the same principle applies to like most of these matchups. Like, you kill them before they get their primary plan going. So we're playing the same like interaction with like Dismember and Force in the main deck to do it. It's just we're taking out stuff like Sphaloon, so we don't have to grind really late. We just replace it with stuff that's going to help us kill the opponent faster. So yeah, remember, like, card advantage doesn't matter when your opponent dies with like 5 cards in their hand. So alright, I'll see you guys again next time. Like I said, leave some nice comments on the replay and give it a thumbs up. Please, the thumbs up matters a lot to me. That's how I know that we're doing stuff that's entertaining and great. So I will see you again next time. Take it easy, everybody.